we're kind of moving through another, yet another, it shows you how quickly time goes by, doesn't it? Another seasonal transition, as it were. So the 1st to the 2nd of February moved us through to a celebration called Imbolc, so I-M-B-O-L-C, or St. Brigid's Day, and there's all different names for it. But really what it represents is the halfway point between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. And there's definitely, yeah, you could definitely, I'm sure everyone has kind of got a sense of it, isn't it? That it's a subtle thing, but it's just a little bit lighter in the morning, slightly later to get dark in the sort of afternoon. So there's a shift. It's another kind of shift, and I thought this one was actually was quite noticeable. The first stirrings of the earth reawakening, and seeing as we are so connected to the earth, it's that reawakening within us. So it's a fire festival, so one of the fire festivals, which kind of really symbolizes the growing power of the sun, so the lengthening days, the return of the sun. And within that, within us, a desire to get more active. I find that when the sun starts coming back, you start kind of planning, don't you? Sort of thinking, oh, you know, I'm going to do this. You start to feel more active. And I think it's quite nice to kind of know where that kind of comes from, that we really are quite connected with everything that's going on around us. So with that, it connects with the sun. It kind of naturally connects us with our solar plexus chakra, so our Manipura chakra. So we're going to be focusing on postures and practices that will connect us with the Manipura. So just kind of gentle activation really of the core. So postures that open this area, that twist into this area, that compress, a little bit of strength into there as well. Just to kind of, it connects us with our core self. It's our fire center, isn't it? Our inner fire. So we're going to start with two breathing practices. Actually, we're going to start with a deep abdominal breath, just to kind of connect with this area, and then we're going to move into Kapalabhati. So just a kind of short exploration of Kapalabhati. Good morning. Okay. So deep abdominal breathing first of all. So just kind of a comfortable seat. Hands as you wish, really, just kind of sitting up tall, so allow your shoulders to relax, nice and connected through the sit bones. Take a couple of natural breaths, first of all, so just kind of connect with your breathing, first of all. And then when you're ready, we'll move to just an abdominal breath, so the action being the kind of expanding as you breathe in, so breathing into the belly. And then as you breathe out, that gentle kind of contraction, so that drawing of the belly button towards the spine. So it's a gentle movement, but an intentional movement. So it's like you're engaging the core as you breathe out, pressing the breath out, releasing the belly, expanding as you breathe in. So we're going to do this a handful of times. So just to connect you with this area of the body. So your Manipura chakra is around the belly button kind of area. Sacral chakra is a little lower into the lower abdomen. So expanding as you breathe in. And then just drawing the belly in as you breathe out. If you're on an empty stomach, sometimes it can be hard actually to breathe. If you've had breakfast, it's much easier to breathe into the belly. You'll really feel that movement. But just kind of the intention is good enough. So we just do this 2 more times. So breathing in, expanding. Breathing out in that gentle contraction. Intentional kind of breath, mindful breathing, encouraging you to breathe a little deeper. You naturally will breathe a little more deeply. So last time working with the abdominal breath. After the exhalation, just then releasing the abdominal breath and just come back into the space. Okay, so just kind of setting the scene, as it were. So we're going to move into Kapalabhati. So this is our kind of breath of fire, skull shining breath. That's kind of comes from the fact that sometimes you feel a little light-headed when you're doing it. We're only going to do 3 rounds of 10, so you shouldn't feel too lightheaded. Really, you would build towards 3 rounds of 30. If you had a tendency to get lightheaded, you would definitely feel it. But if you do and it feels uncomfortable, then just work with an abdominal breath. Don't kind of make yourself do it and then feel all like dizzy. Okay, so but we'll just do 3 rounds of 10. So this is our breathing in, expanding, and then your 10 kind of short snaps back. So it's okay. I know it comes with practice. Sometimes you feel like the whole body's kind of going with you, but if, as much as you can, try to isolate the movement to the belly. And again, it comes with practice, so it doesn't matter if it's not there straight away. You are breathing in. If you're not doing it all on one breath, it's just the emphasis is on the out breath. So kind of active exhalations, very passive inhalations. So we'll have a go. So we'll do our first round. Hopefully that's clear. I think we have all done it together, haven't we, at some point? So we'll take a deep breath in and out first of all, and then we'll breathe in and we'll do our first 10 breaths. So we're breathing in, exhaling, breathing in, and then 10 kind of quick contractions. So when you've done 10, so it doesn't have to be like, just kind of go at your own time. Just take a moment, natural breath in, natural breath out. If you feel lightheaded, just take a moment, let the head settle. You might find you need to blow your nose if you've got a bit of a cold. We'll do the same again. So we'll take a deep breath in and then go straight into the breathing in. And then 10 contractions. Again, just getting there in your own time. When you've done 10, just take a couple of natural breaths. So obviously we're working to strengthen, and that's part of the kind of the side effect really, is working on strengthening the abdominals as well. Okay, and then last time, so one more go, taking a deep breath in, and then 10 times. Okay, again, getting there in your own time. And then that's the last round. Just take a couple of natural breaths. Again, if you do feel lightheaded, just take a moment, your head will settle. This is a heating breath as well. Kind of obviously kind of activating, connecting particularly with our Manipura chakra, so being our intention today. So we'll come back into the space, okay, furry friends. We're going to come into a twist. So lots of different ways to get into this particular energy center. So we will explore all the different ways. If you just have, we'll just come to kind of a simple twist really. We'll just have the legs outstretched. And we're going to take the right foot over. Okay, so you'll find that your right foot is going to be kind of pressing into your belly. That's the kind of feeling, kind of towards the belly. You're turning towards your right, so your right hand is behind you. You can just hold the knee. You might hook it, possibly even hook it if it feels comfortable. And then just sitting up tall, turning towards the back shoulder. You can flex through the extended foot, extended leg foot, so keep the leg active. And you're just kind of focusing on breathing as kind of fully as you can. So usually with these kind of closed twists, you do feel a little bit restricted with the breath, but just breathe as deeply as you can. Shoulders are relaxed. You feel that release through the upper back. So the twist is coming from the belly button upwards. keeping the chest lifted and not sinking into it. One last breath, and then we'll come slowly back to center. So simple enough. We're just going to change to the other side. So extend your right leg out, left leg is crossing over. Again, you can feel that kind of pressing belly towards the thigh, and then just twisting to the other side. So one hand behind you to help you sit up tall. Gaze is towards the back shoulder. You can hook the elbow. That will just get you a little bit deeper into the twist. Lifting up through the chest so you're not sinking into it. Shoulders relaxed. Active through the extended leg, so flexing that foot if it's comfortable. Okay. And then just coming slowly back to center. That's it. So we're gonna come, well, you can face forward if you like. I'll come sideways on this up. Just gonna see. We're gonna come to seated. Was I gonna do seated? We're gonna come. No, we're gonna come straight to boat pose. Actually, oh no, actually, let's do that because that feels quite nice. Sorry, should just think that in my mind, really, shouldn't I? Rather than say it out loud. We'll just have the hands behind. We're just gonna stretch. So we're just gonna have the hands behind, and just kind of lift up through the chest. The gaze can stay forwards. You can take the gaze up if it feels okay. Just comfortable for the neck. Just open through the front of the body so you feel that stretch, and then opening across the low back. So it should feel quite nice actually. So we'll just take a couple of breaths. Okay, and then just coming back. So just a little stretch out. Okay, so we're going to move towards kind of variations of boat pose. So I'm going to keep it gentle, but obviously you can go a little deeper into it if you want to. You can have, we'll keep the toes to the floor first of all, and you're just going to hold behind the back of the legs. Okay, and you just lift up through the chest, so you're not sinking into it. Shoulders are relaxed, and just come back to that point where you can kind of feel your abdominals kicking in, or kind of that core work. So just kind of find that feeling. And then from here, you might want to remove the hands. So you can hold here, it's perfectly fine. If you feel like you then slump, if you let go, then just keep the hands onto the back of the legs. But if it feels okay, we'll just have the arms maybe to parallel. So all your choice where you want to go with it. Just so we can really kind of hone in on the feeling of the core working. So it's a gentle activation. You don't want to feel it too much in the hip flexors, you don't want to feel it too much across the low back. Just take a breath and then coming back up. Okay, so hopefully that in itself is just like a gentle variation of boat navasana, but you can kind of layer on as you wish. So if you can come back to what we just did, so you can keep the toes to the floor, or you might want to bring the low legs to parallel to the floor. So this will take you up a little more of a notch. If you're feeling really strong, you can come straight into full boat pose, but I'm not feeling very strong. So I'm going to stay here, but it's up to you. You know, you can always play with one leg extended or the other. So you know all the different variations. Just go with how you're feeling. Lift up through the chest again. So you're really feeling it into the belly. It's very easy to feel it too much into the back and too much into the hip flexors. And again, you can either hold around the back of the legs, or if it feels okay, you can have the arms outstretched. It's just because it's a little less support, so it's obviously one kind of up for feeling a little bit more challenging. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. Okay, so remember your feet can be down or they can be straight, so there's loads of different ways to work with it. We'll come into a little twist from here, and again, you can do this, you can hold onto one of the thighs and open out to the side, or you can have the arms not holding on, the opposite. Okay, and then coming back to center. And again, you've got the option to hold on to one leg or just twisting to the other side. Okay, keep lifting up through the chest because you'll want to kind of sink into it, coming back to center. And if you want to, then just opening the arms out. So you want to keep your legs bent really, and it's quite hard. And then again, one more time. Remember, your feet can be down, so it should be a bit more accessible. You're still working the belly. And then last time, okay, arms out, come back to center. hold on to the back of the legs. Okay, give the knees a little bit of a hug. But you see what I mean? How easy it is to, I start feeling it in my back. Once you start slumping, isn't it? You feel it into your back, you get it into your hip flexors. So just give a little bit of a hug, open out through the low back a little, so kind of round the back a little. Okay, we're going to come over onto all fours. So you can cross up the ankles and come over, or just kind of set yourself up for all fours. So that is definitely a kind of stoked your inner fire, I think. Anything to do with the core, isn't it? It's just like, but as you can see, you only have to do small movements and you're kind of already getting there. We're going to do a few cat cows. So just take the gaze forwards, shoulders away from the ears. So that should feel really nice across your low back after the boat pose. Tucking under, and again, really work with that drawing of the belly button towards the spine. And we'll do the same again. So we'll do one more time, taking the gaze forwards. And then as you're tucking under, I want you to bring your right knee in towards your chest. So we're just going to do this a couple of times, tiger pose, knee in towards the chest, extending the leg out. Okay, so flex through the foot, keep the hips level, so really active through the calves. Draw that knee in, and then extend the leg out. And then one last time, drawing the knee in, extending the leg out, and then we're going to bring the knee down. So you're going to bring the knee down, we're going to tuck the toes and lift up into downward facing dog. And then we're going to see if we can go a little bit stronger. You can do this with the knees down if you prefer. Okay, so you've got the option to do this with the knees down. If you're okay, knees off, then you're coming from downward facing dog. So you're going to take your right leg out behind. So three-legged dog, that's it. And then you're going to bring the knee in towards the center, so towards the chest, and come slightly forward so your shoulders are back over your wrists. Yeah, so you can do that with the knee down, or the knee can be off. So you're coming a little bit more into a plank and then extending that leg out. Okay, out behind, back to three-legged dog, that's it. And then the knee is coming out to the right elbow, that's it. So your shoulders back over your wrists, extend that out. You should definitely feel the core kicking in, coming across the body, knee to the left elbow. That's it, good. Extending that leg out, and then bringing the foot down, and then bring the knees down. Okay. Good. So we're going to do the same to the left. So you're going to bring your, so like kind of tiger pose, but we'll do taking the gaze forward, opening through the front of the body. And then when you tuck under, bring the left knee in towards the chest. So the same as we did to the right side. As you take the gaze forward, extend the leg out. That's it. We'll do this two more times. So scooping under, extending out, and then last time, knee draws in, so tiger pose, this is the Vyagrasana, leg extends out, so hips are level, then we bring that knee down, we tuck the toes, and we do the same as we did to the left side. So remember, you can do it knees down, it will take the pressure off the wrists a little. So three-legged dog, left leg out behind, draw that knee in towards the center, so towards the chest, shoulders back over the wrist, so not beyond, obviously, that's too much pressure. Leg extends out behind, so three-legged dog, then out to your left, so the outer, that's it, left elbow, extending out behind, and then across the body to your right elbow, that's it, good, extending out behind, and then let that leg come down, let the knees come down. And we'll just take a couple of breaths in child's pose. So bottom towards the heels, arms can be extended, or if you want to really relax the shoulders and the arms, just have the arms by the sides. That's it. So nice and grounded. Maybe your heart rate is up a little, maybe. Or you can certainly feel that you've done a little work. So just take a couple more breaths here. Yeah. That's Sit, good.
So soften across the belly, soften across the low back. And then we'll just come up.
Up to sitting up. Okay, when you're ready. Good. And then we're gonna come up and we're gonna do one round of Surya Namaskar A and one of Surya Namaskar B. So I'm just gonna adjust this up a little. So grab a drink if you need one. Yeah. So hopefully you should feel a little bit warm just from kind of doing that. It just shows it, isn't it? It's just something, it is your inner fire, isn't it? Okay, so we're to the top of the mat. So Surya Namaskar A, first of all. So we're going to breathe the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. So we're hinging from the hips. That's it. Hands to rest, breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing. Right foot steps back. So your long lunge, knees down option. Coming back to plank. Again, your modified option, knees down. Just taking a moment, lowering down. So again, whole body lowers down, or you take the knees down and lower the upper body and move through into your back bend. So whichever feels good. Shoulders away from the ears, elbows hugging in. Okay, just that lovely stretch across the lower back, so whichever positioning you're in. Tucking the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. So we're going to take a few breaths in downward facing dog. Again, any kind of issues, shoulders, wrists, if it's too strong, just take the knees down, because then you're just working with a kind of tabletop position. And we'll just take a few breaths here. So think about shoulders away from the ears. This is both strengthening and stretching for the shoulders. So that's why if there's any kind of issues there, you can feel a little bit strong. So you're building strength here and you're stretching all the way through the chest as well as the back of the body. So you can feel that stretch up the back of the legs. We'll take one more breath. Taking the right leg, so out behind, through between the hands, so back into your lunge. Help it through if it gets stuck halfway. That's it. Both feet together. Uttanasana to the top of the mat. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing, breathing the arms up. And then exhale, hands to prayer at the heart center. That's it. Good. So the same to the left side. Breathing in, arms up. Exhale, fold. So hinging. That's it. Hands to rest. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, release. Left foot steps back, long lunge. Coming back to plank. Lowering down. So whole body or knees down first. Moving through, cobra, sphinx, upward facing dog. That's it. Keep that distance between the shoulders and the ears. Tucking the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. So just think about extending through those heels. So an awareness, that stretch up the back of the legs. If you find that that kind of makes you tuck your bottom under, just kind of reconnect with that movement. So you're kind of sticking the bottom out. And then it draws deeper into the back of the legs and draws the upper body a little closer towards the legs as well. So we're just taking another breath or two. And then we're taking the left leg out behind. So your three-legged dog through between the hands. That's it. Good. Both feet together into Uttanasana, top of the mat. Breathing in, lift the heart, the gaze. Exhale, releasing, breathing the arms up. And then exhale, hands to prayer at the heart center. So we should sort of continue feeling a bit warmer. We're going to come through to Surya Namaskar B. So we're sitting back into chair pose, Utkatasana. So hands can be up or you can just bring them to prayer. Exhale, folding forwards. That's it, hands to rest, breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing. So either a step or a little hop or a jump back to plank. So nice and strong through the core if you're jumping, just so no pressure on the back. Lowering yourself down, so keeping the elbows hugging in, lowering down, moving into your back bend. That's it, good. Just taking a breath, tucking the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. And we're gonna, come downward facing dog first of all. And then we're gonna take the right leg, setting up for warrior one. So right leg out behind, through between the hands. That's it. Back heel now swivels, plants down. So you want to make sure the whole of both feet are connected. We're bending into that front leg, so you can feel the strength through the front thigh, the nice deep stretch into the calves or calf of the back leg. Arms possibly over. If they're overhead, gaze can be forwards or up, or you can even kind of lift up and take a little back bend if that's comfortable for your spine. If you prefer, you can keep your hands in prayer at the heart center. So it's up to you to see how that feels. Just keep thinking of bending into that front knee. Okay, we'll just take another breath. And then bringing the hands down, either side of the front foot. So we move through our vinyasa. So we step back to plank or modified. That's it. Lowering down, so maybe knees first, or if you're lowering straight down, keep the elbows nice and tight into the sides. Opening up through the front of the body. That's it, good. Tucking the toes, pressing downward. We're almost there. That's it, good. Take a breath. And then warrior one on the left side. So the left leg out behind, through between the hands. That's it, back heel swivels, plants down, grounded through both feet before bringing the arms up, possibly overhead. Really kind of bend into that front leg, such a nice stretch into the calf, especially if you need it. Hips are level. Remember, the gaze can be forwards, up. You can open back a little if it's comfortable for you. Okay, we just take another breath here. Good. And then taking the hands down either side of the front foot. So we're almost there. Coming back to plank. That's it, a moment. Kind of really feel that core strength building in plank. Lowering yourself down. So moving through. Opening up the front of the body. That nice kind of compression across the low back. Okay, tucking the toes, pressing back. Downward facing dog. Last few breaths. In downward facing dog, remember you can take the knees down if you need to. If you find that your bottom's kind of tucking under, really kind of stick it out. You can kind of play, but if it doesn't make sense, tucking the bottom under, you can feel your back kind of rounding and everything kind of loosening at the back of the legs. You stick the bottom out and it's much kind of a deeper stretch through the back of the legs and it draws you closer to the body. Okay, we'll just take one more breath. And then we're going to bring the feet to the hands. So a step, or a little kind of spring to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, that's it, good. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing. And then coming through chair pose. So hands coming forward through. Uttanasana, sitting back into it rather than forwards. That's it. And then exhale. Hands to prayer at the heart center. Okay, good. Okay, so grab a drink if you have one. We don't need any props today. Do you need props? No, we don't need any props today. It's whizzing by. It's halfway through. Okay, so we're going to come, hold on, let's come to the center. So we're going to come to warrior three. I mean, any balance is working with your core, just because of the nature of what a balance is. So yes, so literally we could have done anything, but I thought this was a nice one to do. Let me think, I was thinking about which leg. So if you're turning sideways on, it's going to be your left. I was trying to work it out so we wouldn't end up turning away from the screen. So I think it will be your left leg. What we'll do is, so rather than coming straight into warrior 3, we're going to do what we've done before, where we bring the leg in and we kind of play with the balance first of all, and then we'll come into the balance. Because that kind of challenges, challenges your balance, obviously, and you'll feel a little bit more into your centre. So if you can just have your hands in prayer to begin with, you bring your left knee in. That is right, isn't it? It depends where you're facing. Okay, and then we're going to fold forward. So try to keep everything level, so hips stay level, and just kind of extend that leg out behind. Press through the heel if it's okay. So you might stay up a little if it feels like kind of nicer to your back. If you feel comfortable to come down a little lower, then feel free to. Okay, you're just going to play with what is available, and then coming slowly back up. So we're going to do this 2 more times. So you're breathing the knee in, okay, and then a kind of slow, controlled movement. So there's no rush, you're just going with your out breath. Try to find hips and shoulders level, okay, and then coming back in. It doesn't matter if you need to put the foot down, of course. We're just kind of playing with the challenge, I guess. Okay. And then the next time you come down, so the next time you find your warrior 3, then we'll kind of try to stay here for a few breaths. So you can keep your hands in prayer. You can bring them out in front. So extending out, you can bring them out to the sides, or you can take them behind. So you should feel that. And obviously you can feel it in your leg as well. But it is kind of, your core is always kind of working to stabilize you in balances. If you think all of your, and then actually they're not all the same, are they really? Because we've got that center and that balance through the standing leg, and then our weight is kind of over the front. So it is a little bit more of a challenge to the core. And then we'll come up a little. So come up, but keep that foot off the floor, and we're going to step the foot wide back. So we're going to come into reverse warrior. So we'll have a wide stance. We're just going to bring the arms out. So through warrior 2, really. You might need to inch the front foot forwards if you've not come wide enough. And then the back plan to the back leg. And then just opening back into a reverse warrior. Viparita Virabhadrasana. Okay, good. Take the opportunity to breathe. Soften the toes. So if they're coming down and they're all grippy, soften the toes. Really stretch up. Again, shoulders permitting into the fingers. Feel that stretch through the side body. So we're stretching through the front of the body as well, but we're doing one side at a time. Okay. And then come back through warrior 2. Good. And then we'll just step back. So bring the hands to prayer and just step back to the top of the mat. Okay, good. So in the interest of not turning away from the screen, we're going to do the same but to the other side. So it's up to you. You can stay as you are, or I'm going to do this so I don't face away from you. So we're going to do the same to the other side. And you might find one side easier than the other. I definitely do. I think when I'm on my right leg, I don't. So if you've just done your right leg, I'm lost, then that might feel easier. So it is natural. I feel it a lot more challenging the other side. So we're going to bring whichever leg you didn't do. So I believe you are now bringing in your right knee. Yes, is that right? Whichever one you didn't do. Yeah, I think, okay. We'll have the hands to prayer, and we're going to go 3 times with our folding forwards and then coming up, but not rushing it. Purposely slow and controlled, because obviously it's harder. So bringing the knee in, nice and slow, finding your forward fold position, press through the heel. I think it just, yes, well, for me anyway, and actually I think it depends on the day. Sometimes I feel balanced on both legs, other times my right side feels much more comfortable. So it's just an observation, it's not It's not always the same every week anyway. Okay, and then just kind of playing with how it feels when you fold forwards, pressing through that heel to extend through the leg, keep the leg nice and active. You're just going down to your deepest available. Can be a lot of stretching going on in the standing leg as well, so that could be the challenge. And then the third time, if we haven't gone over that already, I'm not sure, we'll come back. So find your warrior 3. Okay, and then you can keep the hands here if you wanted to extend them out. If you wanted to extend them out, you can. You might find that easier or harder. You know, it's just obviously it's more levers, so it's more weight onto your low back, but you might find it helpful. Out to the side might feel nice, or clasp behind might feel good. Just see how that feels. We'll just take another breath wherever you are, and then we're gonna come up. So we're gonna set that back foot down. So make sure it's wide enough. We'll come through warrior 2, just moving through it really. That's it. Back hand, back leg, and then opening back into reverse warrior. That's it. Viparita Virabhadrasana, reverse warrior. So arm can be extended. Any issues, just place the hand to the hip. Okay. And breathing. Good. A nice stretch up the side waist, shoulders are soft. And then we'll come back through warrior 2. That's it, good. And then just bring the hands to parallel heart center. And actually we can just, I know some of us facing away now, aren't we? So if you're facing away, jump around. That's it. Okay, so we're gonna come to, let me think. We'll come to goddess pose. So actually we're gonna have the feet out slightly. That's it, good. So we'll bring the arms up. So palms are facing towards the screen, away from you. And then we're coming down. So you've got that wide positioning of the hands. Okay, we're gonna do this 2 more times. So breathing in, reaching up. So really feel that stretch through the front of the body. And then exhaling. And then do 1 more time with optional lion. So I'm not sure if some of you are doing it already. Breathing in. And then that's it, release. Oh, face is all that. Okay, and then we'll bring the hands to our center. Okay, so we're gonna take the hands onto the thighs, so soften the shoulders. And all we're going to do is we're going to go towards your right side. So you're going to lower your left shoulder and take the gaze to your right side. Okay, and then coming back to center. Just a gentle twist really. And then over to the other side. So really press down that shoulder. It's a nice stretch for the spine, for the side of the spine. Come back to center. And then over, so 1 more time each side. So pressing down, really press down through that shoulder. Back to center. And then over to the other side. Okay. And then back. Oh, should feel good in your legs. Okay, we're going to allow ourselves to kind of hang down. So we'll hang ourselves down. You can straighten the legs. If it feels okay, you might want to parallel the feet, bring the feet into parallel. Just let yourself hang down for a moment. So just releasing through the upper back in particular, shoulders release, let the face, so the jaw, the teeth are parted, jaw is relaxed, face is relaxed. So just take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to heel toe in, but we're going to keep the feet parallel so that we'll just come down into a toe squat. So you're just literally going to bring the feet to parallel, come down into a little squat. That's it. Good. And then we'll just come down to sitting. Okay. So we're going to come, so we've definitely looked at strength, haven't we? We've looked at strength, we've looked at stretching, we've looked at twists. And I just wanted to bring in bow pose. So this is a kind of, I don't think we've done bow pose in this class for a while, actually. So we're going to come onto our bellies. So Dhanurasana. So I'm just going to move the screen a little. So coming onto your bellies. That's it. So then you've got the kind of the compression of this, your center as well. I mean, obviously, in as much as it's a compression, it's a back strengthening exercise as well. So we're going to have a look half and half. So if you take your right hand to your right ankle, right hand, right ankle, back permitting, so you can always have your left hand supporting you, so bent at the elbow, so you're on your forearm, and then kicking the foot into the hand. If the back is happy, then you can extend the left arm out. So you're working more with strength, okay? Any pinching in the knees is not good, okay? It is quite a deep bend through the knees. So if there's any pinching, you really don't want to be pushing hard foot into the hand, okay? Maybe just work with the bend rather than adding that push. So we'll just take a couple more breaths. Okay, so Ardha Dhanurasana. We're great for the whole of the back of the body, but really we're kind of activating, stimulating the Manipura chakra. And then just releasing. So release the arm, release the leg. If I felt quite strong across the low back, just make sure you have a little wiggle of the hips to release the low back. Okay, so we're not holding it too long. I know I always say it, but it's definitely one to include in a home practice. This one and locust, just fantastic, simple exercises that definitely do see improvement the more you do them. It's just that I think generally people tend to avoid them. Especially when there's not much, unless you're like really, really strong through your back. Okay, we'll do the same to the other side, but they're so beneficial really for so many different reasons. Taking the left hand, left foot, might be ankle, might be foot. Possibility right arm extended or bend at the right arm and just kind of press into it. And then you're working a little bit deeper into the back bend, but less with the strength. Okay, there is still strength. You can definitely, I'm sure you can still feel the strength here, but obviously if you remove the arm, it changes it quite dramatically as well. So it's a good one for really strengthening across the low back. So if you tend towards low back pain, kind of funnily enough, this one is really good for it. So we'll just take another breath or two and then just release. So release the arm, release the leg. You took your head to one side, take it to the other side just for balance. Or if you're in the center, come back to the center. Wiggle the hips if you need to release the back. Let the heels kind of flop open. So you're really kind of relaxing through the legs as well. Okay. And then I'll give you the option, obviously, to bring both sides together. So if you want to bring both sides together, or if you want to come to one side or the other, or you want to just have a lay down, that's absolutely fine. So the possibility to find both feet, which can be a challenge in itself, isn't it? If you can't quite reach, you can always grab your leggings. That's another possibility and a benefit of wearing leggings. Kick the feet into the hands, and then just kind of, yeah, it's definitely a lot more lift, isn't it? Because you're using the strength of your legs to bring you up a little bit higher. Be with the breath. So really breathe deeply here. Breathe into your belly. And you might feel, and you don't have to make yourself, but you might feel the desire to rock forwards and backwards. Hips permitting, if you've got bony hips, it might not feel very pleasant. So you might need to pad So you can understand, obviously, with that compressing of the belly, really kind of keeping a healthy digestive system. So if you're rocking, just a couple more rocks back and forwards, okay? And then that's it, we'll release. That's really well done. We're just gonna release the, well, come back down, obviously, release the feet, let the arms come back, comfortable position, let the heels kind of flop open. And just take a moment with all the hips if that's helpful. And then we'll just ease ourselves back towards child's pose. So you might want to just, you want to go really slowly, particularly if you felt that strong into the back. So hands under the shoulders, super, super slow, because obviously from quite a strong back bend, we're coming into a forward fold. So as long as you take that a slow movement, just to, you know, be on the safe side, really, taking the spine the opposite direction. Just come small, let your back kind of, you feel that kind of openness, that stretch across the low back. That's it, that's nice. Do you like bow pose? I know it can feel strong, but we didn't, you know, you don't spend too much time on it, do you? But it does feel like you've kind of really getting that balance, isn't it, front and back? Okay, so we'll come up to sitting nice and slow. We'll just kind of bring our legs around. I think let's come to Paschimottanasana just for a moment. So flesh from the sit bones, you can have straight legs or you can have slightly bent knees. Then the emphasis will then be just on stretching out the back, just that little bit extra. So you can bring the arms up, fold forwards. If you want to work into the hamstrings, probably will feel a little tight because we've not been focusing. So you can keep straight legs. But if you want to release the back a little more, really take that kind of counter pose to our bow pose, then just bend the knees a little. If you drop the chin towards the chest, again, you don't have to, but if you drop the chin towards the chest, you'll feel that pretty intense all the way down the spine. That's a great way to really stretch into the back of the neck and as it leads into the upper back. Again, just breathe into the upper back, so feel that kind of expansion as you're breathing in. We'll just take a couple of breaths. It's just a nice counter pose. Okay, and then we'll just walk ourselves up to sitting up, and then we'll come down to laying, and we'll come into a twist. So be warm if you feel it. It's a bit milder, isn't it? It's been a bit milder yesterday and today. So we'll come to a twist first of all. So when you're ready, you can have the feet to the floor, knees to the chest, just see how that feels. Arms can be out to the sides. You could even just bend them kind of like right angles if that feels more comfortable. And then just letting the knees go to your left side. So if you did want to make it stronger, crossing the top or the bottom leg, really. I always say the top because it feels more natural, but whichever feels more comfortable for you. Again, you can straighten out the legs if it's available. Keep the back of the shoulders connected. So really make the most of that twist. Head and neck relaxes. Again, you can take the gaze to the side, or you might just keep the gaze up. But let the body relax now. So find the sort of positioning that allows you to kind of relax into it. So no holding now across the belly. Just take another breath here. And then you're just coming slowly back to center. So knees to center, gaze to center. Change the cross of the legs if you cross them. And then over to the other side. So knees to the other side, gaze to the opposite. There's a possibility there. Stretching across the chest, the inner inner arms, outer hips, obviously through the spine as well. Pressing down, so if your knees are to the right, pressing down through that left shoulder blade in particular, make the most of the twist. Just taking a deep breath or two. And then when you're ready, coming back to center. So it should feel like a nice kind of release. Back to center, give the knees a little bit of a hug. We'll come to comfortable position for Shavasana. So legs can stay bent or you can have them outstretched. Again, if you needed socks or a blanket or something, then just grab them. And we just let the whole body relax now. So with in mind that we've had a little bit more focus, obviously the whole body always involved, but a little bit more focus around our kind of fire, core center. We're just gonna, first of all, really be aware of softening, releasing here. So there's no need for any muscular effort here. We just allow the whole of the kind of belly, abdominals, core to relax. Relaxing and releasing across the low back as well. So really there's a lot of, it's a kind of soft center, isn't it, as well? Even though we're obviously connecting with the muscles here, it is quite a vulnerable space. So just really kind of allowing that softness to come in. And let that kind of feeling of release move down through the lower half of the body first of all. So kind of release around the hips, the pelvis, the bottom. If you feel you're still kind of holding on around the legs, and just really kind of soften the thighs, soften the knees, and kind of release, relax through the low legs into the heels, ankles, toes. So sometimes in Shavasana, you might be aware of a kind of a tingling feeling through the body, and that's the kind of the energy settling. You may not be, but sometimes I'm aware of it, sometimes not. And it just depends how you've moved, really. But it's just, we're allowing the energy to kind of settle. We're guiding it around through our practice for different intentions and purposes. And then in Shavasana, we just let everything come back to neutral. Body processes what we've been doing, and the energy settles. So an awareness coming back up the body, still that softness around the center, softness through the heart space, shoulders relaxed, the back of the shoulders, arms, however they're resting, fingers, hands. That sense of release, calm around the throat, the neck, jaw relaxed, cheeks relaxed. Across the forehead, the top of the head, heavy through the head. So an awareness, the back of the head resting heavy. And then the whole of the bed, the whole of the body resting heavy. So that draw down to the earth. When we're thinking about these transitions, so Imbolc obviously this week, it's connecting us more deeply to the earth, to everything that's going on around us. So I'm just going to read a blessing really for Imbolc. May the life-stirring underground stir new dreams to life within you. May the flames of inspiration and passion be ignited in your soul. Really just reinforcing that this is a time when our acceptance of winter is just giving way to that naturally occurring urge to move forward and to be active once again, and just connecting with that feeling. So just being aware of a kind of stillness in the body, maybe a heaviness through the limbs, Hopefully that your mind has slowed down a little. Moments of silence, moments of stillness, always nice. And then just coming back to an awareness of your breathing. So first of all, just noticing the breath as it's kind of naturally moving in Shavasana. And then just deepening the breath a little. So maybe back into the belly, or just however you're naturally connecting with your breath. Just let it be a big breath in and extending the breath out. So our breathing at the start of our class automatically starts to trigger that relaxation response, and then we're kind of sealing the practice with our Shavasana, which takes us that little step deeper into it. So again, taking a nice deep breath in, really expanding into that breath, and then with the exhalation, just let that move down through the body. So bringing back small movements. So suggestion, always suggesting fingers and toes, but really it's however you feel to move. So just layering on. It might be fingers, toes, it might be wrists, ankles, maybe the head, the neck. Maybe hugging the knees or a full body stretch. And just reconnecting. And then we're just kind of slowly coming back to a comfortable seat. So you can come to your side first. If it feels better, just so we'll just close with our three Oms. So hands as you're comfortable to have them. Into the wrist, into the lap, into the knees. So your choice. We'll just take a deep breath in first of all. Exhaling. Taking a deep breath in. The same again, deep breath in. And last time, deep breath. Okay, and then we just bring the thumbs to the brow center, open mind, and then to the heart center, open heart. So thank you very much for coming. Namaste. Okay, thank you.